Beginning of this year, I made a couple of resolutions as well. One was to pray more and read Bible at least 30 minutes every day. I also resolved to exercise more and eat better. Stay away from Chinese food and fast food and get some exercise regularly. In short, I promised to take some steps to keep myself spiritually and physically healthy. Looking back, without getting into details, I can tell you that I was partially able to keep my resolutions. I lost a few pounds. Did I exercise regularly? Probably not, but I was alright. In many countries, including United States, childhood obesity is at an all-time high. In fact, 1/3 of all American children in American schools are overweight or obese. And it poses some major health implications as these children grow into adulthood. A major culprit in such unhealthy weight gain is inadequate physical activity coupled with poor eating habits and junk food. After President Obama moved into the White House, First Lady Michelle Obama has launched an initiative called Let Us Move to encourage good nutrition and exercise among children. Here in New York City and Nassau County, local governments have passed laws to require fast food restaurants such as McDonald's and Burger King to post calorie information on their menu display boards. If you go to McDonald's and Burger King now, you will see the Big Mac is now 600 to 800 calories. You will see that. In New York City, Mayor Bloomberg is asking all restaurants to cut down on the salt they add onto their dishes. All these measures are aimed at discouraging both adults and children from consuming junk food, instead encouraging them to make healthy eating choices. What is junk food? These are food and beverages with insufficient or no nutritional value at all. They taste good, but lack nutrition and are often very high in calories and fat. Many meals purchased at fast food restaurants, such as chips, soft drinks, that is soda, candy bars, cookies, they all fit these criteria. Why am I talking about junk food in a Sunday school or youth group? I will get to that. And I will sit down very shortly. Apostle Paul wrote to Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 6. If you point these things out to the brothers, you will be a good minister of Jesus Christ, nourished in the words of faith and of the good teaching that you carefully followed. And when 1 Peter writes in his book, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3, we read, like newborn babies, desire the pure milk of the word, that you may grow up in your salvation, if you have tasted that the Lord is gracious. The God's word provides the basic and essential knowledge and discernment to begin our spiritual life and to becoming a mature believer. Peter encourages us to desire God's word just as a baby craves for milk. Babies demand milk as if their very life hangs in the balance at each feeding time. Believers should sense the same desperate need and possess the same appetite for God's word. The world produces such a vast amount of spiritual junk food because of books, computers, radios, and television, and it is within very easy reach of many minds anywhere, anytime, no matter where a person may live. Therefore, believers must develop the spiritual discernment to be able to choose the best diet to incorporate into the development of their moral and spiritual character. Christians must keep in mind that spiritual junk food always curbs our appetite for Christ and His Word, filling us up without providing nutritional value that the genuine spiritual health requires. A healthy immune system requires a healthy, balanced diet. Without a healthy immune system, relatively small threats can be deadly. Spiritually, how good is your diet? How strong is our spiritual immune system? Can it withstand the spiritual health threats like worldliness, lust, prideful selfishness, false teaching, and hardships and setbacks in life? To be spiritually healthy, we have to avoid spiritual junk food as well. Spiritual junk food comes in different forms. Some religious teachers proclaim a different gospel, ranging from health and wealth to a counterfeit spirituality. Whether it be Joel Osteen, Benny Hinn, T.D. Jakes, Joyce Meyers, Creflo Dollar, or other countless preachers. I am not saying these people are right or wrong. I am not smart enough to judge them because I'm not theologically educated to know what they are preaching is right or wrong. But one thing I know is we need to be discerning in our consumption of what comes from these preachers. Again, I am not trying to debate their theology or their life. And I am also not saying whether they are right or wrong. But I'm asking you to compare their teachings to what is being said in the Bible. And some Christian music and books also contain false teaching. Taking in this kind of food may seem to satisfy spiritual hunger, but it will not lead to spiritual health. Hebrews in chapter 13 verse 9 warns us, "Do not be carried about with various and strange doctrines, for it is good that the heart be established by grace. False teaching is detrimental to our health and is not profitable because it cannot cleanse us from sin, nor give power for spiritual growth. But biblical content that is based upon grace and truth does both. Avoid spiritual junk food and instead feast on God's word to promote your spiritual health. And develop a habit of setting aside some time for prayer every day." So what do we do starting today? When you go downstairs after this meeting, there is food. Right? There will be some salad downstairs too. Take some salad, put it in your plate. It's not going to bite you. Trust me. The salad is good for you. So, and tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, instead of watching TV or do something else, start with reading a chapter from the Bible. It's going to do good for the rest of the year. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the year.